that you can set in configuration menu.
Yeah.
They're basically spread out like from high to low.
Okay.
And it won't let you do anything unless you hit the start again. So if I hit that, I'm going to go ahead and hit speed 4. Okay, so it goes speed 4 is the highest speed, to speed 1 is the lowest speed.
Got it.
And anytime you turn it back on, it's going to prime for 3 minutes just to get any air out of the lines. So how this works is if you ever want to just run like a speed whenever it's like, since you don't have freeze protection on this, since it's not connected to an Omni, you would want to come out here and on the lowest speed, like whenever you know it's going to freeze, tap that multiple times. It goes up to 12 hours.
Okay.
And that just lets you run it overnight. Okay. To change any timers and schedules, you're going to hit menu. The first thing that pops up is configuration. That's where you can set all your parameters of where your different speeds are and that sort of thing. And to get in there, you're going to hold down the left and right arrows together, and it will open it up. That unlocks it. Okay. If I hit menu again, it's going to go to the timers, and everything you're going to hit the right arrow to enter. So I'd hit the right arrow, timer 1 from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on high. 3200 is high. Okay, when I go, to modify it, you're going to hit the plus sign. Okay, so I don't want to modify it. I'm going to go over again. It goes to timer 2, modify no, keep going, and you can set up to 8 timers. Okay. Speeds, that's going to be where you can go mess with these speeds right here.
Would we ever need to tap speed 1 multiple times overnight?
If it's gonna freeze.
Yeah.
Only if it's gonna freeze, like tonight?
So you have 2 options for that. You could either tap it, since y'all are going to be out of town,
Yeah.
you could set one more timer that starts at the end of the last one and goes through until the next one starts on just a very low speed. So, and you can only set, you can just set that up for Friday. You know what I'm saying? You can just set it for 1 day.
Okay.
Since y'all could come back and erase it whenever you get back, if you wanted to do that. Or before you left, you could tap it for however many hours goes through the night, and then you're going to be good.
Okay.
So the priming just ended. Configuration, timers, speeds, that just mess with these. That's just going to give you like your the diagnostics, just going to give you like your serial number and the information about the pump. And then that's it for the menus in there. The quick clean button, you touch that and it's going to turn it on high speed for an hour. That's something you could just tap if you wanted to turn your cleaner on for an hour, just manually, something like that.
Okay.
But other than that, it's pretty simple to use. If you ever if you see this basket get a lot of stuff in it, whenever you're cleaning up the skimmers, you don't have to. I mean, you can come over here and turn this off, but you don't really have to.
It'll get caught there.
This is where it's going to come to.
Yeah.
You just want to be careful whenever you take those out and make sure nothing gets sucked in. If it does, you just come over here, hit the stop resume button.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Clean that out?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you open this?
It's an arrow. Sometimes if you tap it, you don't want to do it whenever it's on, but you just kind of bump this and it comes off. And just line up where it says front here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, this looks kind of muddy. I don't know if I want to step on that.
Yeah.
This is your booster pump for your cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
this right here is your filter. To clean this, so what you do here is whenever I set this on high speed, this is like whenever it's on high speed is where I set that green. That's where you would set the when the needle is on the green, that's when it's clean.
Okay.
So when the needle starts getting closer to the red, that's when you want to clean the cartridges inside.
Okay.
The way that you do that is you have a 3/4 inch wrench that you take this off at. That would be a reason that you would turn the switch off to the pump.
Yeah, completely.
Nothing comes on. Make sure that the Polaris pump isn't going to come on during that time. Everything like that. 3/4 inch wrench. You're going to open this valve up. That's going to relieve the pressure. 3/4 inch wrench. Take that off. You might need a rubber mallet to kind of tap this band off. You're going to take that apart. Take the top off. 4 cartridges. There's actually a thing called like a filter flosser that you can find on like Amazon. It's like a half moon shape, and it's high pressure and it gets in between the pleats really well.
Okay.
And that's how you just clean those off really well. Put it back. There's an O-ring that goes in there, and there's stuff called magic lube that you would want to lube that O-ring up with. When you put this clamp back on, get that rubber mallet, tap around, tighten it up, tap around again, tighten it up, turn it all on, check for leaks, and once you see there's no leaks, then you're good.
Okay. How often does that usually need to be cleaned?
It really depends. I would say for sure every 6 months.
Yeah.
Regardless, and if you see that it's getting closer to the red, I would do it maybe every 3 or 4 months.
Got it.
Your chlorinator, that's going to be what you put tabs in.
Right.
Adjust the dispense of the water over the top of the tabs. But honestly, this time of year, you don't need to pump tabs in there. You can keep your chlorine at a minimal level over the winter season. Whenever you see your chlorine getting low, it's okay to just make sure your other levels are in range and then add maybe a pound of shock to get that chlorine back up.
So you don't need tabs in there, you don't think?
You really don't, to be honest with you, because here's the thing. Tabs have stabilizer in them, which protects the chlorine from like UV rays eating it up. And if you just pump tabs in there all winter, it's going to get that stabilizer too high. When that stabilizer gets too high, it's going to make it to where the chlorine's less effective. You have to have a lot more in it, and you don't want that happening. You want the stabilizer to be in a good level in the summertime.
Sure.
So right now, stabilizer level is not very important. So I recommend whenever you see the chlorine getting out of range, make sure that your pH is in range, and then you can shock it with just a pound of shock will be fine.
Yeah.
Your heater, I'll come over here and light it up whenever. Is it center point you're waiting on? Okay. But let me see if I can get over here.
I can probably put some pavers down so we can get back there.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
good.
what we need to do. Okay, let me pause.